Hi, Mr. Gibson. This is Michelle Goldman reporting in for Milestone 1 for our Truth or Tale app built for the Android platform. And as far as the deliverables promised for this week, where we're at, everything that was promised for this week has been completed and everything is working. I'll just run through that real quick. Let's just start with some of the informational screens, like the rule screen. So we tap on that, and then that comes up. All of the changes that you suggested have been implemented as far as the text being left aligned as opposed to centered, and any changes in the rules and the descriptions themselves. Having the navigation that's in the toolbar at the top so that the user can go back without having to use the hard-coded back button on the device. That brings us back to the home screen. Then we go to About, and that just provides information about the application, including the app version and copyright. Again, the navigation at the top with the toolbar, and that brings us back to the main screen. And then lastly, for the home screen, the last part of the deliverables for that is the play button. So everything for the home button is functional and working. For our category screen, we do have back and a start button. I had not heard back about the change request to remove the back button since I've implemented the navigation in the toolbar upon your suggestion. Having the back button really, it's extraneous. We don't need to have that as well. It's just a duplication of what the back button in the toolbar does. But then we also have our spinner. So we've got our selection of categories. There are 8 categories. And then you can just scroll down through them and then select one and then tap on start, and then that takes the user to the actual game quiz activity. So as far as the deliverable for the game quiz screen for this week, it was primarily just for the UI components. I do have a few things that are built in and working, just so that I was able to work through some of the UI elements and to begin working toward the deliverables for next week, which will be the bulk of the work for next week. So we do have our category, science and nature, and then we do have a question that's listed here. The timer, that is just a static image for right now, as is the level 1, because that will be implemented next week. We have our truth and tale buttons. And then just a kind of a test banner for what the in-app ads will look like at the bottom of the screen. And that will only appear on the game activity screen because it really doesn't make sense for it to appear anywhere else throughout the app. So if a user, at this point, if you tap on truth, that is correct. That was a correct answer. And so we've got our text view at the top where it will display that for the user so they have visual feedback and they can see that they did get it correct. And then if you tap on tail, then it also will perform the same way. For next week, the implementation of removing the correct or incorrect wording above the timer will disappear between the changing of the questions. So if you noticed, as I tap on the buttons, the questions do change. So it is cycling through. This is just kind of a test question database that I created simply for building the UI components. And of course at the top we do have our toolbar navigation again, so we can say quit, which will take the user out of the game and take them back to the main screen. Actually, it'll take us back to the category screen because that was the parent screen for this, and then will bring us back to the main screen. And then I thought that probably it would be a great idea to have an alert that will come up when a user wants to quit the game, to just make sure and verify, yes, they do want to quit, and just remind them that their progress thus far will be lost if they continue. And that's the conclusion for this week. Everything is working. Everything's on time. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. And if there are any issues for next week, I'll be sure to reach out to you and let you know. Thank you.